Okay, what's up, y'all? Are y'all here? Come into the room. Oh, wow, 15 people. Y'all showed up for Joe. All right, come into the room. Come into the room. Thank you guys so much for being here. Joe's in the back. He's chilling. Okay, he's been very gracious about me being late. All right, I told him it was CPT time, but he know not every Black person is late all the time like that. It's just me. Okay, so he's been very gracious, and I really appreciate it. Welcome. I am DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the purple print. If you're here for Joe, do me a favor and thumbs up the video and subscribe. And I know y'all eager to get started and see, come into the room. I know you guys are eager to get started and see Joe, right? So many people here for Joe. Let me first start off with playing a viral video. It was one of the first videos that I saw that made me want to interview Joe, okay? Because I'm like, it's time to celebrate Black women, okay? It's always time. It's time to celebrate Black women, and it's time for Black women to stop feeling like, oh, this guy doesn't like you, and they don't like you, and you're not the preference, whatever, because you're some people's preference. Did you know that? Did you know that? Some people have a preference for you. To other people, Black women are exotic. They don't look like the women that they're used to seeing. They find Black women to be very exotic, right? So one thing that I like about Joe, okay, is that I feel like he celebrates the beauty inside and out of Black women. Let's take a listen to what he had to say. Oh, hold on. Let me say hi to the room first. Sun Goddess Ari, I hope you're still here. I've never dated anybody, but I want to be in an IR relationship. You know what, Sun Goddess Ari? I know that you will end up in an IR relationship. I know that you will. So take your time. It's difficult for young people. You're a young person. It's difficult for younger people to like engage in that way, but you're going to get there. Okay, so just take your time, keep being beautiful and shining, and these guys will catch up without a doubt. Absolutely. Melanin Woman Speaks says, I can't wait for Joe to come on. Right. Get Joe. Where's Joe? Where Joe at? Oh, I said, anybody that knows this channel, bars. Let's see if Joe likes these bars. Let's see. Freestyle. I like my man like I like my cup of Joe. Lot of cream, lot of sugar. Don't want no hood booger. Okay. Bars. I like my man like I like my cup of Joe. Lot of cream, lot of sugar. Don't want no hood booger. Okay. Period. They mad. Okay. Oh, goodness. Joe said, me too. Goddamn. He only got so much time, too, so we really got to get started and get into him because I got a lot of questions. Come into the room. Joe! Okay, he's coming. Thank you, Topaz. Appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Faith. So kind. I need to know that eyeshadow color. Okay. Is it Jackie Ina's palette? I think it might be Jackie Ina's palette. It's one of those palettes from the people who produce Jackie Ina's palette. Okay, I'll tell y'all later. All right. So anyways, I got to get started. We got to get started. Let me play this video, the viral video of Joe talking about why he likes Black women. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, I don't relate to the Black women aren't attractive. Nobody chose Black women. I don't relate to that. All I relate to is, okay, I've been new. Go where you celebrate it. Okay, I ran over. Anybody that wants to celebrate me, I'm there. So we need to hear the praises and the blessings. Okay, so let's share my screen with y'all. Joe's video. Why I prefer Black women. Okay, period. He let them know. This look. Why I prefer Black women. All right. Let's play the video.
First of all, the skin color. I love their skin. It is so beautiful, so smooth looking. It it doesn't age like my skin is aging. I'm 27, and I know people older than me, and they look better than me. And I mean, you look at black women even in their 90s and their 80s and 90s, and they barely have any wrinkles. So that is something to be very proud of. 2, their lips. Lips are a very big physical attraction for me. I love a girl that has big lips, bigger lips. I just think it's better. That's just my preference. Some of you might not like big lips, but I do. I like, there's more to kiss, and there's just all around better. I think it makes a woman look so much better. What else? Their hair. That's a big one too. I love their hair. I love the texture of it. I love the way it looks. I love the way that some girls can make it into a big old afro. And most of all, I enjoy the natural hair. I think a lot of girls that I have dated have been very scared to wear their hair natural. But I think that as time goes on, this generation is kind of letting their hair grow more natural, back to the way God made them. And I think that's just beautiful. I rep that 100%. I support that 100%.
Why you playing the commercial on us?
It starts with your hair. People want thicker hair. They want shinier, healthy looking hair. I'm literally obsessed with Vegamore, okay? True story. My hair was breaking.
Shut up. Okay. All right. So, you know what? I didn't play the whole thing, but those are some points that Joe made about why he likes black women. He will tell us more about why he's just attracted to black women when he joins us. So everyone, give a loud round of applause. Welcome our boy. All right. I need a cup of Joe. Okay. He's here. Oh yeah. Hello? And sorry, you said my mic is loud. It's just me. I'm loud. Okay. So I'll try to lower it down because Joe is a chill guy. All right. What's up, Joe? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for being here. Is there anything you want to say to your adoring fans?
Yeah, I want to give some shout out to some people I see in the comments. Roadrunner89, Brent, Miss Anita, Tyrannosaurus Rex. How y'all doing tonight? Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Deborah Williams.
Oh, he's so nice. I can't, Joe. I can't. A Southern gentleman. Okay? I'm from the North. They don't do that here. Okay? He's just so nice, guys. He's been so nice this whole time. Sometimes when I work with other YouTubers, I'm like, oh, why you give me attitude? And he's been so nice. This is just
I'm a very nice guy.
Every interaction. Oh my gosh, guy. Okay, it's a panty dropper. Come on. It don't take much. All you gotta do is be nice, and then these guys are like, nice guys finish last. And I'm like, no, you probably just smell. Take a shower and try being a nice guy. See how that works for you. Okay. So welcome to the interview, Joe.
Thank you.
I want you guys to know that I apologize to Joe for the trolling that was taking place on his channel. There was a troll there that I noticed before. All right. And Joe's a very cool, calm guy. And I'm not. I'm not cool. I'm not calm. So when I see trolls, I jump on them. And if you see that troll in the comments section, feel free to jump on him because he's bothering Joe. Okay. And he thinks that it's cute. And Joe don't care. Just like a man with power wouldn't. Just like a man, okay, wouldn't is not, you know what I'm saying? But because I can't stand it, I had to let him know. But you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it chill and cool on Joe's channel. And thank you so much for being here, Joe. I want to get into the interview. Okay.
No problem.
You guys know I'm not going to see all of your comments and stuff. So if you want to say something specific, you might want to make sure that I can see it. Okay. All right. I'm going to get into the interview. We got a lot of questions. First, you're a YouTuber. You're a writer. You're an actor. So am I. Okay, we should work together.
In that. Yeah.
Is there anything else you do for a living?
Yeah. Back in 2016, I started my own construction company. So I'm a carpenter. I build houses down here in Texas.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. Oh my God, ladies. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So I basically all summer long I'm out there working with my shirt off, swinging a hammer.
Yeah. Okay.
Carrying wood. So. So I stay pretty tan all year round.
God. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I got some things around the house you could fix for me. Okay. Do we not love a man that does it all? Okay. This guy he's in touch with his artistic side, and he'll fix shit around the house. You know what I'm saying? None of that waiting for the plumber to arrive. He's there. Come on. This is what women want, right? Oh my God, I love it, Joe. Okay. So I've watched some of your videos, and I see that you have a daughter. She's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And so you had your daughter with your first wife. And shout out to Joe for marrying the mother of his child. That's something Dusty's don't know how to do. Okay, see, a real man's gonna marry the mother of his child. Okay.
Yeah.
So Joe, can you tell us a little bit about that relationship?
Yeah. So me and my now ex-wife, we met in high school, in the 9th grade, and for probably 2 years, she chased me all through high school and wanted to go out with me, but I just didn't really want to date her. I was too busy dating other girls that had quite a few women coming after me in high school. So I was just kind of going around dating a lot of girls. And finally I said yes to her. So we got together and we ended up staying together for 12 years. And out of those 12 years, we were married for 7. So, but I think we got married when I was 19, and we just married young, really young, and I guess I didn't really know what I wanted back then in life. So, we were high school sweethearts and all that stuff. So we were just really in love and thought we had it all figured out. Got married, moved in with each other, and then with my daughter being there and everything, and just trying to, I was the only one working, and which is not a problem. I mean, I believe in supporting my family, but I think that things just kind of started getting a little bit rocky in our relationship as we got older. We started realizing that we may not have made the best decision, for us in the long run. So we kind of ended up just getting divorced 2 years ago. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So, so you guys were you high school sweethearts, or did you meet after high school?
Yeah, we met in high school back in the 9th grade, and yeah, we were together all through high school pretty much.
Right, exactly. You said you guys were together for 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So because I know for me and my personal experience in interracial dating, it was a shock to not be embraced by my husband's family, because I'm clearly, look at the material, right? I'm the full package. Your son loves it, right? And something that Dr. Phil says that I love is that Dr. Phil says, I have a special place in my heart for people who love my children, right? So here I am loving your son, and yet they still just didn't like me, right? They just didn't like me. They couldn't put their finger on it. So my question to you is, did your family accept and or embrace your wife?
I would say not at all. When I got married, I got married, none of my family showed up to the small wedding that we had at the church. Not one.
Oh my God. So, nobody from my husband's family was there either. Oh.
Yes. Unfortunately, and they never really got along with my wife. There's been a lot of fights in the family in the past, and so that was another thing that was rocky, when they couldn't get along, and I've got my family in my ear, and so it was a very tough marriage, very tough.
Do you blame some of that on how your family behaved and the external pressure coming from outside your marriage?
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that had a lot to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
because it made her, not really want to be married to me, because she wasn't really being accepted by my family, and her being the only black woman in the family, anytime she would come to my house, or my mother's house or something, it wouldn't be a good time. You could feel the tension in the room.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, especially, I very much relate to her, and I thank you for your transparency. Excuse me, because I know this is a tough subject, and I know I've seen before that you said maybe your ex-wife would come on to your show and talk about it, and I haven't seen her do that yet. And I just hope one day that you can find healing from that situation, because you've created something very beautiful, your daughter, and you'll be family for life, right? Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Joe's ex-wife. We love Black women over here that know about opening their options. So shout out to Joe's ex-wife. So, okay. So your family didn't accept or embrace her. Did you have hard conversations with them about this?
Yeah, I think pretty much the same conversations that we would have. Before I married her, there was a few conversations with a few family members where people would try to steer me away from my love for Black women, and they would try to tell me that I'm just going through a phase, and that I need to wake up to the real world, and that this is wrong, and you don't mix races, and all this nonsense, but none of that ever fazed me, and I would try to tell them my point of view and how I see Black women, but unfortunately nobody in my family saw it the same way, but still it didn't bother me. I'm perfectly fine with that. I've had friends that have turned their back on me the same way, when they find out that I had a Black girlfriend in school. I'd lose a lot of friends, or people just wouldn't want to hang around me because they thought I was weird. People call me disgusting for dating a Black girl or something. So, but none of that ever bothered me. I mean, any of the name calling, from family members or friends, it really just had no effect on me. I just knew that I was born to be with a Black woman someday. So I just kept marching on, and I'm glad I did.
Well, did you ever end up getting into a series? Or I'll pause real quick. Shout out to Roadrunner 89 for the super chat. Appreciate you, Roadrunner 89. I know you're here because of Joe. You're a subscriber and fan of Joe, so appreciate you, Roadrunner 89. Thank you for being here. So did you ever end up getting into a fight or an argument with your family member because of this?
Oh yeah. There was one night where me and another family member got into an argument, and somebody had called my wife the N-word, and I wasn't having that. So, I knew I was going to lose the fight, because this particular family member is about 6'5" and about 230 pounds, 240. So he's a little bit taller than I am, but that didn't stop me, and I jumped on him, and we started going at it, and needless to say, I lost the fight, but at least I did fight for her. And that was when me and her were going through a divorce at the time. But I just seen it as, no matter what we were going through, and we hated each other at the time, but I wasn't going to let anybody call a Black woman that. So, but I think we walked away at least he walked away. And after it was done, we shook hands, and he said he respected me because I'm willing to fight for what I believe in. So I think I gained his respect in that sense. So, but ever since then, there hasn't been an altercation with that person, or really anybody else in the family, because that was a pretty serious thing. People seen how serious I am about my love for Black women and how I'm willing to protect them. So,
and shout out to you for that, because you guys are going through a divorce. You could have just avoided a fight, and instead you did the right, which people take that for granted, doing the right thing. Most people don't do the right thing. I know a lot of people, they don't. So, shout out to you for that, Joe. Going off of that, so how does your family accept your daughter?
I think they were kind of mad as soon as they found out that she was pregnant in the beginning. But after my daughter was born, I think that, my daughter kind of changed everybody. And once they seen, how beautiful she was, and, how God can take, two different ethnicities of people and, make a child out of it. And, so I think they accept her, and they're very happy with her nowadays. Like I said, but before, when my wife was pregnant, it was a whole nother story. Everybody was mad, and but I guess a baby changes things. When they finally see it, and it just changes people's hearts. So,
so you don't have any concerns about your daughter being around your family members and them, because I don't know if you've seen TikTok, for example, but there are a lot of biracial people on there, mostly the product of Black men and white women, who are the majority of interracial relationships in America, right? Black men and white women.
Right.
There are a lot of biracial children on there who are talking about how their mother's family and or father's family at times, right, is racist to them. So do you feel comfortable allowing your daughter around your family?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I don't think that they would say anything inappropriate, or, anything like that around my daughter. I think they're, pretty civilized when it comes to that. And I'm sure there's, like you said, there are parents who may say the wrong thing or around the child, and, be racist around them, or maybe even to them. But I wouldn't say I have that problem with my family at all. I think, I think they are very proud of my daughter, and, there's no problem there. Thank God.
Yeah. And I mean, because what would you do if there was a problem? Would you disown your family if they made your daughter feel ostracized?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There we go. It's only so much grace you can give folk, especially when it comes to your children. So shout out to Mocha Mommy. Thank you for the super chat. Mocha Mommy is from Texas. What does ATX mean? Austin. Yeah. Austin, Texas. And Joe is from Dallas, right?
Yep. Dallas.
Yes. Yep. And to that I say, yeehaw! Okay. I'm always like, don't stereotype me. And the first thing that I do, anyone's from Texas, I'm like, yeehaw! Okay. Horrible. Horrible. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you have to. I think I'd do the same thing if I seen somebody with a cowboy hat. Like, oh yeah, look at this guy. Yeah. He shows up on a live with his cowboy hat on.
Do you wear cowboy boots?
Just to let everybody know. Yeah, I'm wearing my boots right now.
Oh my
just
God.
To let everybody know, everybody in Texas does not wear a cowboy hat. You got to be pretty hardcore to wear one. So
oh wow! Okay.
You got to.
So do you ride
horses? Yeah, we have 2 horses, so I ride every now and then.
Oh wow! Awesome. So are you teaching your daughter horse riding?
Oh yeah. She was riding back when she was like a year and a half old. We were putting her on a horse and walking her with it, and then when she was about 3 years old, my mom was showing her how to walk a horse, which I didn't really like that. I thought she was a little too young to be walking a horse, but so yeah, she's definitely not scared of horses. She'll get on one today and ride it all over the pasture, and so same with me. I grew up around horses. Yeah, I grew up around horses and in a barn, and I was never scared of getting on one. With other family members that were, but I never was. I was just like, let's do it. And,
So you country boy, you out in the
yeah.
You don't live in the city, right? Because you're in Dallas, but you don't live in the city.
Yeah, it's kind of the suburbs of Dallas.
Yeah. Okay. I've been to Austin. I don't know anything about Dallas or anything like that.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't like it.
Okay, but I think that's awesome that your daughter is comfortable around horses, because I went on a horseback ride once, and the horse, I'll never forget, it was one of the most traumatizing experiences of my life. The horse's name was Solder, and it was the most unruly horse. And the guy that, was in charge was like, Solder! And I was like, but you could just feel all of that power underneath you, and that terrified me.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, they're really very muscular, big animals.
Yeah. How does your girlfriend like horses?
What's that?
I'm sorry, that reminds you of what?
Oh, I said they kind of remind me of myself. Just big,
okay. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Okay.
Oh.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm a country girl. I don't know if you know this, but most Black people up north, right? Their families came from the South. So I'm second generation North, but most of my family members have a country, from South Carolina, North Carolina, they have that accent and the customs and everything, So I love country music. So that's why I say save a horse, ride a cowboy. Big and rich. Yeah. Okay, come on now. Okay, awesome. So again, thank you for being so transparent with us, because there's so much talk about interracial dating and relationships online. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. So, that troll was trying to be like, oh, what kind of slang is y'all? I was like, if you don't take your northern ass on, if you don't know what y'all means, get your ass on out of here. Anyways, there's so much misconceptions when it comes to interracial dating. I know there's a narrative from a lot of Black women who haven't dated interracially or have had positive experiences with their white partner and his family. And they believe that getting with any white guy is just, a saving grace, right? And is automatically like the most amazing thing. It's going to take your life from here to here. And what I try to explain to them is you still gotta know who you're getting with, whether he's white, Black, whatever. It doesn't just. So do you agree with that, Joe?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of white men that are, they won't step up to take care of their woman or their kids. They won't protect their woman in a situation, or they'll they won't even defend her verbally. I've seen people just it's crazy. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of white men that are just can't provide and don't want to raise their kids. So always check the character of somebody. So don't ever just think that just because you get with a white man, everything's going to be, all high and mighty, because that ain't always the case. There's a lot of, I've known a lot of people, especially a lot of people that have worked for me that I've hired in construction, just complete losers. I mean, just lazy as can be and just worthless men. So
we call those, we call those dusty over here. We call worthless men dusties. And see, worthless men will get offended when we're talking about dusties, but I'm like, a real man understands that if you're talking about dusty, you're not talking about me, because I'm a real man. I take care of my responsibilities. So, absolutely. Thank you for acknowledging that, Joe. I just, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the best and my favorite interviews of all time. Okay.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
what are some lessons that you learned from your first marriage?
Let's see. Lessons, I think, well, it really taught me to take my time and really, figure out if the person I'm with in that moment, if I really want to spend the rest of my life with them. Because in that case, even though we were together, a while before we got married, I felt like, I guess we still didn't really know enough about each other. We never had spent time. We never lived together or anything. We got married, then we moved in. We tried to be as traditional as we could. And then when we moved in, we found out that we really got on each other's nerves, and everything I did apparently annoyed her. And then soon after, I was trying to be the nice guy and just deal with her griping and complaining all the time. But then I realized that she's just not a very nice person. And so then I started griping and complaining about stuff she did. And, so I think I learned that, you just really need to know who you're getting into a marriage with, and make sure you're compatible. Just because she looks good doesn't mean you should marry her. You got to make sure you're compatible.
Right. Yes.
So.
I mean, that is something that a lot of men will never understand, right? Especially men. Just because she looks good doesn't mean that you guys are compatible. I find it interesting though, Joe, that you had this marriage with this woman and you didn't say, okay, I'm gonna go back to white, right? You were like, moving on with my love of Black women, right? So how is that? How are you able to compartmentalize that? I didn't get along with this particular Black woman, but I still love Black women from my experiences with Black women, and I'd like to continue pursuing relationships with them. How did that work out for you?
Well, I guess it's because the only way I know is Black women. I mean, I've never been with a white woman or any other race for that matter. Ever since I was 5 years old, I fell in love with Black women, and I knew right away from that moment that I was meant to be with a Black woman. Whether that is getting remarried someday or just being in a relationship with one. But the thought has never crossed my mind to, go with my own race. That's just never been something that ever crossed my mind. I've just never been attracted to any other race other than Black women. So it was very, very easy for me to just, keep on going on with my, search, and, very easy to transition really from a bad marriage to a good relationship that I'm in now. So never been a problem.
That's great. Wow, that's great. That's awesome. All right. So I'm curious because in the Black community, there's something called the one drop rule. And it's something no other community has, if you haven't noticed, where if you have any bit of a Blackness in you, you are considered Black, but you're not considered anything of else that you come from, right? And so a lot of times in the Black community, you will see, again, the majority of interracial relationships in America are the product of Black men and white women. So you will often see these couples saying that their children are Black. The end.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's why the kids on TikTok are upset a lot of times, because they're in these families and their family members are telling them, you're Black, you're not one of us. I'm curious to know, do you refer to your daughter as biracial or Black?
Well, when she was first born, I did refer to her as Black. I was so proud that she was half Black that I only referred to her as Black, and I told everybody, I have a Black daughter. But I guess as I got older, I had to accept the scientific fact that she's 50% white, 50% Black.
Right.
So,
right.
Now obviously I will tell people, she's biracial. But yeah, when I was younger and she was first born, I was too happy to tell somebody, my daughter's Black. I was really excited that I even had a daughter with a black woman. I would, and I'm still very, very proud of her.
Oh, I know. I can tell. I can tell. So please, if you're in the room, thumbs up the video and subscribe. Thank you. Become a Steely. Okay, so you now are like, my daughter's biracial. She's part me, she's part her mother. A lot of times Black people have this rhetoric where they're like, if the cops see us, and the cops are white, right? They're majority of cops are white. So, okay. Cops or racists or anyone in white America, right? Black people have this idea, most Black people, that white people cannot differentiate between a Black person like me, who has 2 Black parents, and a biracial person like your daughter, who obviously has a full white parent. As a white person, do you feel you can differentiate between whether someone is Black and whether someone is biracial mixed with Black and white?
I would say yes, because I've been around Black people so much in my life, and biracial people. I could definitely see the difference, and if somebody couldn't tell the difference, I would honestly wonder what's wrong with them. If because I mean, usually their hair texture is going to be a little different than the average Black person, and their skin color. And my daughter's case, she's very light skin, just a little bit darker skin than I am. So, but I can obviously tell by looking at somebody's kid that, hey, this is obviously a biracial kid. So if other white people can't tell that, then I think obviously they have a problem. Something's wrong with them. So
was your wife, or was your ex-wife, I'm sorry, more like my skin color and or your girlfriend's skin color?
No, she was a little bit lighter skin. Yeah,
okay.
She's the lightest color that I've been with. So
okay.
I usually date darker skinned girls. So
okay. Okay. Yeah, you might assume that she might have been acting light skin. We call it acting light skin. Because I have a lot of lighter skinned family members, and sometimes they'll act like light skin, So she might have been acting light skin on you sometimes there. I haven't seen any trolls yet, but if they mad, they can stay mad. Star Sky says Joe likes chocolate only. Period. It's just how it goes. I didn't. You know what? Me and Joe, this is the first time we're having a discussion together. I didn't tell him say this. I completely expected him to disagree with most of the things that I'm saying, because there's this narrative out that like white people can't tell the difference between Black and biracial people. Therefore, we have to keep using this 1-drop rule, things like that. Right. So again, I appreciate your honesty, Joe. All right. Next question is, has anyone ever, there was a story recently of a Black guy that like went up to a white person, and a white man and who had a biracial daughter, and he tried to steal the girl away from him because he was like, this isn't your daughter. Has anyone ever accused you of not being your daughter's father?
No, I've never had anybody accuse me of that, and if they did, I'd probably punch them in the face, honestly.
Okay, period.
So,
yeah.
I'd be pretty offended,
Right.
And,
yeah.
I mean, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy, but at the same time, I have a side to me that, if somebody's going to come up to me and start talking crap or something, especially when it comes to either my girlfriend or, any Black woman really, then they're going to see a different side of me pretty quick, because I'm a Scorpio, so I can change pretty quick.
All right.
But but if anybody tried to come up and take my daughter away from me and accuse me of that, then they'd be in a very bad situation.
Period. Absolutely, Joe. And Sun Goddess Ari, who is one of my moderators, so I got to shout her out. She asks you, how can a girl become country? Is there some way that a girl can become country? Is that what you're looking for? Are you looking for a Southern girl? Or would you date a girl who was just like talking, from the hood and she from the North and she, like, what are you into?
Well, I've been with women like that, and I'd say that's not really my type, I guess. But I mean, I've never been with a girl that I would consider country though.
Okay.
But I mean, to become country, I would say just kind of maybe go to a barn or something and try to spend some time around the barn, and just horse people. Just spend time around horse people and go to rodeos. Of course, I guess that's where you would start. Go to a rodeo and kind of that'll introduce you to what all the whole cowboy thing's about. I took my girlfriend to her first rodeo and she loved it. So we go to the rodeo all the time, anytime we can, and it's just a really exciting thing. And that's one thing I want to try is to ride a bull. It sounds crazy, but I guess that's why I want to do it. It just might be a little stupid, but
right.
But I would start out with a rodeo and just hang around those type of people and see if these are the type of people you want to hang around. But it's fun. I mean, a rodeo's for everybody. And if you do, then find a barn and see if somebody will let you ride their horses, and that'll turn you country pretty quick. That'll let you know pretty quick if that's what you want to be or not. So
right. Yeah. And what about country dancing, line dancing?
Country dancing. I honestly, I've only danced once in my life at a little honky tonk club down here in Texas, and it was terrible. I hate line dancing. I think it's terrible. I think it needs to be done away with. And it was funny when I did the dance. It was with a white girl who kind of wanted to dance with my friend, and my friend didn't want to do it, so he ran off into the crowd. And she's like, "Well, I guess that just leaves me and you." And she took me by the arms and pulled me out on the floor, and I had no chance, I had no choice but to start moving like an idiot, like everybody else was. And I was bumping into people, and it was terrible. It was a horrible sight to see. So I'd never do it again. Country dance is a joke.
It's definitely it's kind of weird. Okay, so I noticed on your channel, and people do this with YouTubers. They, they'll be like, I find you attractive. I like you. But I'm not gonna lie. You have a lot of comments from women saying, I like you. I want to be with you. Some of these women look very beautiful. Do you find that bizarre? Do you find it weird? How do you handle
that? Honestly, it just if I'm being honest, feels like I'm living the dream I had at 5 years old. Like, that's what I wanted when I was 5 and I first started liking black women. But I think I'm kind of used to it, because in high school, I honestly, it was kind of that way in high school. Once somebody found out that I only like black women, all the black girls in the school kind of found out really quick, and they were kind of just all wanting to date me. And I even got sent to the office one time when we were in the cafeteria. The office was right there in the cafeteria, and this particular black girl came over to my table. I was sitting there alone, and she asked if I wanted to come sit with her. So I was like, yeah, sure. And I go sit at her table, and there was probably 13 other black girls at the table, and they all came over and wanted to question me. And they're like, I heard you like black women. I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're all grabbing on me and feeling on my muscle. And one asked me, do I have a six pack? And I said, yeah. And she's like, can I see it? So I kind of raised my shirt up and showed all the girls my six pack, and they all started screaming and beating on the table and just went bizarre. And it got the attention of the entire cafeteria. So the principals came out because they thought there was a fight, and the whole table ended up getting an office referral. And I tried to get out of it when I told the principal why they were screaming, and they didn't believe me. So they sent me to 3 days of in-school suspension, and I was proud to take that suspension. That's one of the things that ever happened to me. But no, but you know, I don't find it bizarre at all. I think it's you know, I'm used to it. I think it's great, honestly.
Aw.
You know.
Yeah. So I mean, if you, especially because, and if you have declared your love of Black women since an early age, Black women aren't afraid to, you know, love a guy that loves them back. Is that something you would agree with?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to all the Black women who you know, do pour out their love to me, I want you all to know that it's very appreciated. You know, I'm very humbled by all the love and the support that you guys give me on the channel, and you know, everybody watching right now that, you know, has been looking forward to this live and wanted to see what I have to say. I mean, I'm really thankful that y'all are here tonight to, you know, join in and listen to this interview. You know, thank y'all so much, and I love each and every one of y'all just as much. You know.
Aww. Oh, you guys, and Joe's been so sweet. You know, he's got a large following, and for him to agree to come on to our channel and to talk with us, that, I mean, it is so sweet. Absolutely. And I'd love to work with you again, Joe. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure. No problem.
Let's see. We got somebody. I kind of didn't want to, like, have you heard of divestors?
Not really. No, I don't think too much about them.
I didn't, you guys, I didn't think so. I didn't think he's heard of divestors, right? So what divestors are Black women who, now, maybe you experienced, I mean, you were in the South, so I don't know how things are there, but Black women tend to be race loyal when it comes to who they date, right? So they don't often approach non-Black men. But I also believe that's because of something you just said, right? Is because if you're a guy and you make it known, I like Black women, then you will get Black women approaching you. But because Black women, we are literally conditioned and told that we are the last chosen and that nobody wants to date us and other crazy things like that. Like, this is how we are conditioned, and these are things that we're told growing up, right? So divested women are women who say just out the, you know, I like white men, basically. Okay. So so you don't know about divestors, but the women that you've dated, I'm curious, do you feel like these women have that maybe they still want to be with Black men, or that, you know, do you feel like they find it weird that you're white? Have you ever had any experience like that where you were with a Black woman, but she kind of kept pointing out that you're white or anything like that?
I would say I haven't had that experience where anyone's really thought it was weird that I was white. I have dated Black women that said that I am their first white man to date. And I've been with women who say that they only date white men. But I've also I think I've been with more women who say, you know, that they've been with multiple races, and they don't really care what the skin color is, you know, as long as the man loves them. I think that's what I've heard the most, though. I think I've been with like maybe 2 women that have only been with white men. So yeah, but other than that, you know, and I've asked, you know, some of the women I've been with, would you, you know, if we break up, would you date a Black man? And, you know, they've said yeah. So.
Okay. So yeah, that's not a divester, right? Because most divested women would say that they don't want to be with a Black man under any circumstances. They only want to be with non-Black men, right? So, okay, so now you know about divestors. And I think there's a difference between divestors, people that, are like, this is kind of my identity, and women who divest from a lot of the negative conditioning in the Black community. There's, slight difference. So just to put that out there for y'all. Okay. But shout out to divestors and divested women either way. Okay, moving on, because we're gonna lose Joe in about 20 minutes here, you guys. What are you looking for in a woman?
Well, I would say really what matters most is I think because of my marriage and how wrong it went because of all the fighting, I would say I just want a woman that it just doesn't nitpick everything that I do, and mainly somebody kind of like, my girlfriend now, like we don't, we've been together for 2 years. This past Monday made 2 years that we've been together, and we haven't had an argument since we've been together. And mainly because she's too mature for that. And I'm a very laid back person. She's laid back, and she don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So, I mean, and, so as long as I have a woman that is very loving, which, almost all Black women are, they're very loving and, caring for their man, whoever they're with at the time. And they're willing to go 100% for him is what I've always seen. Every girl I've ever been with has always gone 100% for me. So I always go 100% for them. And I mean, really, I think that's all I would ask is, someone who's mature and somebody who loves me unconditionally, because I'm going to give her the same in return, and, somebody who's romantic. I love romantic stuff. And like I told my girlfriend the other day, and she thought it was pretty funny. I probably shouldn't even be telling anybody this because I'm going to embarrass myself. But, I work out to Tim McGraw and Faith Hill love songs. They're duets,
Oh my God.
That's what motivates me is love songs, songs like Let's Make Love and Just to Hear You Say That You Love Me has just really recently become one of my favorites in the past couple of weeks. So, I told her I listened to that stuff, and she couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, it's always been that way. Love songs are what motivates me when I'm working out,
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. I love Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. I mean, I guess I consider all of their songs love songs because they're a married couple, but I think they've had their ups and downs as well. And I tend to like the songs where like Faith is talking about how it feels to be a woman in the relationship, what's that song where she's talking about bumping into him? And not Cry a Little. Anyways, I'll think of it. But the point is, I love their songs as well. They're such a great like duet. Perfect. And I love Tim McGraw. Okay. So how has your family been receptive of your new girlfriend?
I think they really like her. They have told me that she's, my favorite girlfriend that I've had so far. So, and thank God there's been no problems with her and my family. My stepdad really likes her. Every time me and my girlfriend go see my stepdad, he's always telling me I need to marry her. She's going to leave my ass. So he's, and he's never told me, he's never encouraged me to marry any of my exes. Although I will say this, he is the one who encouraged me to date Black women when I was 5 years old. So he was a big part of that, but he really abandoned me after I married my ex-wife. he just, and not because of her skin color, just because of he didn't really like her character, I guess, you know, and he thought that we wasn't good for each other. So, you know, and in the end we wasn't, and he was just trying to warn me about that. But, you know, but yeah, my family's been very, very good to her, and they like her.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So maybe even some of the problems your family had with her was just seeing that disconnect between the two of you.
Yeah, probably so.
Your ex-wife, right? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're living with a woman, now we're going to ask the 50-50 question here, y'all. When you're living with a woman, do you expect her to go 50-50 on rent, bills, dates, etc.?
Not at all. Not at all. In my personal opinion, I take really a lot of pride in being what I like to call a real man. So I'm a very traditional person. You know, anytime we go out, you know, I take pride in taking care of my woman and my family.
Yes.
I don't want her. I don't want her to stress about anything. You know, just like when I was married, you know, I was working 2 jobs, you know, building houses during the day and working on cars in the evening. So, you know, whatever it takes. And I've also worked 2 construction jobs at once. You know, there's one time I worked like 39 days straight. You know, on the weekends I would do another project, and during the weekday I'd be building a house. So, when I'm with somebody, I don't expect her to pay 50-50. No, none of that. I pay 100%. Definitely anytime we go out, you know, all that stuff is taken care of by me.
Okay, period. I did not tell him to say this. This is out of the horse's mouth. Okay. This is what Joe thinks about relationships. A real man. You understand that, Dusty? He's a real man. Okay, thank you. That's so good to hear. Okay. And not that I think that women should contribute nothing to a relationship, but because they should, and they do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, if you're a man, you shouldn't be depending on 50% of a woman's income or whatever she's got, you know, to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So have you been a Christian your whole life?
Well, I became a Christian when I was 14.
Oh, okay.
When I 14.
Okay.
And
so would you? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Please.
So I was when I was on the school bus every day, I kept seeing this church on this road that's down the street from me, and something about the church just, I don't know. I guess I was just hungry for God or something. You know, I wanted to know who God was. So, you know, during that time of my life, it was right after my first girlfriend had broke up with me. So I was experiencing my first heartbreak. I was really down, dealing with really bad depression. And I wanted to find out who God is. You know, I was seeking that. So I started reading library books about other religions other than Christianity. And because I wanted to come at God as, you know, just being a, you know, basic person. You know, I didn't want to just go to Christianity because I had been taught about Christ. I wanted to, you know, find out for myself. So I was reading about Islam and Judaism and, you know, all of these religions. But I went to church on my own when I was 14, walked up there in the church completely alone and heard a sermon, and they did a call to, you know, come up to the altar and receive salvation. And I did. And, you know, after that, God just really changed my life. And, you know, I started building a relationship with Christ and was walking a mile down the road every Wednesday night, every Sunday morning. I couldn't get my parents to go with me. I really wanted them to, but I couldn't get none of my family members to go with me. But, you know, needless to say, that didn't stop me from going. And by the time I was 18, I was an ordained minister with that church.
Wow.
So became a youth pastor with them.
Oh, okay.
And did the preaching thing for a little while. But you know.
So do you know the song Red Dirt Road?
Oh yeah, Brooks and Dunn. Yeah, I love that song.
Okay, come on now. It's where I drink my first beer. All right. My husband always makes fun of me for singing it because people up north act like they hate country music, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I love country music, love it. Okay, so would you consider a romance with a woman who wasn't a Christian?
Yes, I have 2 times in the past. The first time it didn't work out, basically because of our beliefs. And I had told myself that I would never do that again because we really didn't get along when it came to that aspect. And then a couple years down the road, I got with somebody, and after we were, talking for a little while, and I really liked her, she told me one night that she's not a Christian and asked me if that was a deal breaker. And at that point in my life, I really liked this particular girl, and I was just like, well, excuse me. I was like, I've dated somebody who it didn't work out in the past, but I'd be willing to give it a chance again because I know that, God can use me to change somebody's life. And so, we got together, and about a year into the relationship, I was on a live one day doing a live podcast, and I was talking to other people about, accepting Christ in your heart. And I didn't even know she was watching me. And I led some people through the sinner's prayer on live. And then I get a text message, and she told me that she said that prayer and accepted Christ into her heart, So, by our relationship, she was able to be led to Christ. So would I do it again? I guess I would say yes, because just because of the experience I had in that relationship, how Christ used me to get to her. So, and if I would have said no to her, then, I don't know if she ever would have accepted Christ. I don't know if God would have sent somebody else into her life or how that would have worked. But, I'm just really glad that he was able to use me and get through to her. So I'd say yes, I would.
Okay. But your current girlfriend now is a Christian as well.
Yeah.
And she was a Christian when she met you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, my up north is different. My husband's an atheist, and it's never changed. Okay, put it that way. He was just like, he probably burns going to the church. He like starts sizzling like. I'm like, Jesus, why don't And I had people, when I was in grad school, for example, people made fun of me for going to church. They were like, "Did you go to church?" Like, like it's really like, I'm like, okay, you vampires, like hell's waiting for you, okay? Hell's waiting. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna believe in my God, okay? Amen. But yeah, it's a little different down here. People don't care to, have faith anymore. Yeah. So a lot of people in the north just don't have any faith. Would you date a single mother?
Yeah, I have many times actually. Yeah, many times. When I met my current girlfriend, she was a single mother. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So your girlfriend now is a single mother.
Yeah.
And that
other than she's dating me, so yeah, she's not a single mother anymore.
Oh, Joe. He's so sweet, y'all. Because, a lot of these guys are like single mothers, like, and there's so many women who, things didn't work out with their first husband or boyfriend or, baby daddy or whatever. And, it just seems like guys give them a really hard time,
Yeah, they're losers.
Oh, Joe's like, my girlfriend is not a single mother because she has me. Y'all, come on now. That's a man. I like my man like I like my cup of joe. Lot of cream, lot of sugar. Don't want a hood booger. Okay, don't want these hood boogers. No. Okay.
You don't want me to start flowing, man. I'm
Okay, come on now, Joe. Whenever you ready. You got bars?
I know my girlfriend's watching. She might get a little mad, so I'm just gonna refrain from it.
Oh, well, what's up to Joe's girlfriend? Thank you for sharing him with us. I know he's going to be going pretty soon, but thank you so much for sharing him with us. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I had to get her permission.
Absolutely. Okay. You know how we do. Okay. So, I was like, when you said yes, I was like, oh, like his girlfriend is sharing him with us. That's really nice. So, again, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. So what do you think about women with lots of piercings and or tattoos?
I would say I love it. I really do. I really, especially on Black women, I really love tattoos. I remember there was a girl at Six Flags that I was operating one of the rides, and she had tattoos all down her arm, and I thought it looked great on her. So, and piercings, they don't bother me at all. I like really any type of piercing that a girl can get. I've been with women that have had a lot of piercings, pretty much anywhere that could be pierced was, and I've never had a problem with it.
Okay,
So,
all right, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Joe's, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have all these stipulations like, would you date a woman who wore wigs and or weaves?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's not wrong with me.
Okay. All right. So it seems to me like Joe's just looking to understand the person, and the outside stuff isn't, a deal breaker for you. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, if she wants to wear wigs and weave, and if that's what she feels makes her beautiful, then I think it makes her beautiful too, but and also, like I said before, I'm pretty big on natural hair. And when I do a lot of my thumbnails, like there's a book that I have that's on YouTube, and when I narrate my book that I got published last year, but when I narrate my book on YouTube, I've always used Whoopi Goldberg's picture from The Color Purple. And I get a lot of people that, come in the comments and they're hating, and they're like, why are you using Whoopi Goldberg? And, she's ugly, and you could have used Gabrielle Union or any girl but her, or someone that wears makeup, and someone that's actually pretty and has really long hair. And my response to those people is, I think that Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple, just the way she is with her natural hair, with no makeup on, I think she is absolutely beautiful. And a lot of people might find that shocking. A lot of people think she's ugly. I don't see that at all. I love Whoopi Goldberg. I think she is absolutely stunning to me, just because she's natural. And I think that a natural Black woman, just the way God made them, I don't think Black women need makeup and hair extensions and all that stuff to be beautiful. I think they're beautiful just the way they are.
Are y'all hearing this? Okay. There are men out there that do not expect you to glue a wig to your head. Okay. They glue on wigs to their foreheads, Joe. It's horrible out here. And within the community, there's this like expectation of like, I better not be able to tell that you're wearing a wig. You better slay your wig and the fake hair that you wear so well that I could possibly believe it's yours, right? And it's such a unfair standard to hold Black women to, and they're destroying their hair, they're destroying their skin, using all these chemicals, trying to make it look like their hair is like naturally, you know what I'm saying? Like I plop on my wigs, baby, just before the live start. I'd be like, bloop, and how it land is how it land, I don't do all that gluing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like, glue for what? Obviously, what Black women's hair looks like. So if I'm wearing a wig, obviously I'm wearing a wig. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and like make fake baby hairs and try to like, present that I have a different ethnicity or racist hair texture, right? Naturally. So that's a standard that within the Black community, Black women are held to. And it's absolutely insane. I want women to see there are men out there that love your hair. Your hair is exotic. Your hair is beautiful, right? Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Joe. I know you have a couple minutes left. So curious, have the Black women that you've been with, marriage, dating, what have you, have they had fathers in their lives?
Let me see. Let me think back here. Out of all the women that I've been with, there's only two that I can think of that the father has actually been present in their life. The girl that I'm with now, I got to meet her dad shortly before he passed away, and he was a great guy. You know, he was a wonderful, very very loving father to her. You know, he always looked out for her, and he was just a really good friend of mine. And one of my exes from way back in high school, her dad, you know, he was around. But other than that, out of probably 16 women, it's only been two that, that have actually been in their lives. But a lot of them, it really, when I talk to Black women, it's really a lot of it is the same story. You know, they either don't know their father or they've seen him once or twice, you know, and he doesn't come around. So it's kind of all been the same with all the women that I've been with from what I've seen. So,
yeah. Do you find that bizarre? Like, is that different from how you grew up and what you would expect of women and men?
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, I find it sad just because the fact that, you know, my biological dad, he committed suicide when I was 2.5 years old. So I never had the chance. Yeah, thank you. So I never had the chance to get to know him. But I had a stepdad that raised me since I was 5 years old, you know, and he was great. But I find it sad that, you know, there's people like me that don't get the chance to talk to my dad and ever know him. And then there's women out here, and, you know, there's men too that their father walked out in their life, and they're still alive, and they have a choice and a chance to have a relationship with their child, and they choose not to.
Yeah.
You know, and I think maybe that hurts the child more, knowing that their parent is out there and alive and doesn't want anything to do with them.
Yeah.
You know, in my case, I can't do anything about it. My dad can't come back and sit down and have a conversation as much as I'd love him to.
Right.
So I think it's worse for people who, you know, their parents basically disown them, you know, and want to go and run the streets and stuff. So I think that's just a terrible thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel that Black women that you've been with were protected by the men in their community? Do you generally, even
Not at all,
that you've been with, just what you see at large, do you feel like Black women are protected by the men in their community?
Not at all. And I think that really, from what I've heard from almost, and this is another thing that almost all the women that I have been with, this is another thing that seems to be a major factor in all their lives. Everyone I've ever been with has told me that they were either raped or molested as a child by a family member, and it's usually that other family members know about it, but they won't do anything to turn this particular family member in. And you know, it may be an uncle or an older cousin, and the whole family knows about it, but the other, you know, men in the family, they won't go beat this dude's ass and turn him into the cops or anything. They just kind of, you know, and they'll tell the young Black women that this never happened to you. Don't bring this up again. Don't talk about it in the family, stuff like that. And it's pretty sad because I can guarantee everyone I've been with has told me in some form or fashion that they've been raped or molested by, you know, a family member or even their boyfriend. It could be their boyfriend raped them, and force them to do stuff that they didn't consent to. So, I really, it's sad, but I haven't met anyone yet who said, hey, this guy stepped up and, protected me yet. So.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. It's very sad, the abuse that Black women endure within our community. My final question to you, because I know you have to get going, and thank you so much for your time, is how do you handle being stared at when you're out with your if people stare at you when you're with your daughter or with a Black woman, your ex-wife and or your current girlfriend, and or racist remarks? How do you deal with that?
Well, I get a lot of stares, honestly, and usually it's usually when we're in like a very rural part of Texas or something, which obviously is, a lot of racist people down here in the country parts. It's usually that, or if we go to the city or something, it's like elderly people will stare down here, and maybe they're racist, or maybe it's just that they grew up from a different time period and they don't really understand that times have changed. But when people stare at us, it makes me pretty proud that we're getting people's attention, and I'm extremely proud when I walk in the room and everybody's looking at us. I'm extremely proud to be with a Black woman. So in that case, it doesn't bother me at all. I love it. I want them to look. I want the world to see us, because I believe that, interracial couples can change the world. So, I want to be noticed. I want people to see us on YouTube, and I want to talk about it on YouTube and get the message out there that this is okay. This is normal.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with this. People are being raised to think that this is wrong, and that, in my case, like, I was raised and had friends and family members telling me that I was disgusting, that something was wrong with me and I was weird, and, that I need to be checked out by a therapist to see why I think this way, But racist remarks, luckily I've never really dealt with any of that in public. If somebody was to say something in public that was racist, I guarantee you I wouldn't hesitate to shut them up right away. And I wouldn't be talking to him. I'd be talking to the judge after that. I wouldn't say nothing. I would just shut him up right away.
Yeah. And Joe's a tall guy, you guys. Joe's 6 foot, right?
6'3".
Oh shit! Oh, okay. That was the final straw, Joe. God damn. Okay. What you not gonna do? All right. That's awesome. Okay. Ooh, 3 strikes. I'm out. Okay. I saw someone ask, "What do you think about firearm protection?" So I'm going to ask you that before you get going.
Like using a firearm as protection?
Yeah. Just having, I guess, firearms to protect yourself. Is that something that y'all, is that something that's common for you down there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think in Texas, probably 90% of homeowners down here have a gun. And our governor, he just passed a law where you don't even have to have a license to carry a gun in the open down here, which I do have my license to carry, but now that you don't need a license to carry a weapon. But I still carry a license. I think it's the responsible thing to do, and I think that people who do carry a gun should have the proper training. There's people around here carrying guns that don't even know how to use it. I know that much, and I think that's pretty dumb. But as for carrying one myself, I absolutely support it. 100%. I think it's a great way of protection. If there's a lot of crazy people down here. A lot of violence and a lot of shootings because everybody has a gun. So but it's kind of really a necessity in Texas. You really need one. You never know when things are gonna go Wild West on you down here. So.
Yeah. Wow.
You have a cowboy hat and gun if you come to Texas.
I'm telling you, right? Get you a man that's 6'3". Okay, put 3 inches on it. Okay, period. They short up north too. Oh God. I'm not. I'll get these northern men upset. They're gonna be in their feelings. Southern men for the win. Okay, Southern men for the win. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight, Joe. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before you head out?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's really been a pleasure being on the show tonight. It's really been a pleasure being here with you and talking with you. And I just want to thank all my viewers that came from my channel over to Danie's channel. Please make sure you subscribe to her channel. Show her some love, some support for putting this whole thing together. We just want to show her that we really appreciate this. And I hope you guys have really enjoyed this podcast tonight. Also, you guys can check out my YouTube channel, Cup of Joe 20. I talk about all kind of stuff on my channel. God, working out, cooking. I do short films. They're usually I try to make them funny, but I have a few serious ones out there. So go check some of those out. And of course, we talk about Black women, protecting Black women, loving Black women, why I prefer Black women, so. But other than that, I just want to say a public thank you, Danie, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it tonight. I really enjoyed being on the show.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. You've been an amazing host. You're so sweet. Shout out to Tyrannosaurus Rex with the super chat. Really appreciate you. Do you have a Cash App that we can shout out in case anybody wants to send Joe love there as well?
Yeah, my Cash App is Cup of Joe 205.
All right, guys. So yeah, show Joe some love. Thank you for coming into the show, Joe. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can work together again soon. And have a great night. Tell your girlfriend again. Thank you so much, sis, for sharing Joe with us. You got a treasure, okay? And he knows he has a treasure. Amen. So thank you.
She's in the live right now. That's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What's her name? Oh, she's Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you for being here, girl. Yes. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. You too.
Thank you. All right, guys. So that was the interview. Joe was amazing. I love his channel. I knew we would have a fun time, but I wasn't prepared for him to answer some of the questions the way that he did, right? I mean, he really was just honest and transparent and not afraid to give us the honest answers that we need when we're having these discussions. We can't have these discussions without bringing in the men that we're in these relationships with, right? So, I was watching this video. I don't know who the guy is. It's some guy that sits in his car, right? It's a young Black guy. And he's got non-Black women on the show, and they're calling him, they're N-word this and N-word that, right? And they're clapping in his face. And, the video gets over 1 million views. Black people are so used to celebrating, accepting, and acknowledging those dysfunctional relationships and those dysfunctional dynamics. But when it comes to how beautiful and classy Black women are, when we're dating out and we're opening our options and we're leveling up and we're in hypergamous relationships, all of a sudden that's something that the Black community doesn't want to see, right? But we're going to have those discussions here. We're going to ask the hard questions. I think it's very important for y'all to know that you have to vet every man. And Joe confirms this, okay? So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Tyrannosaurus Rex, I hope you subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for being here. She said, great show. Thank you for sharing Joe with us. You rock. It's truly. And I really appreciate that. I love other interracial couples, and it's difficult being in an interracial relationship. I wanted to touch on the dog done took a poo. Okay, close the door. Anyways, so okay, so I wanted to touch on our divestors too hard conversation before I leave. Okay. And my answer is, like I said, there are people that have come to my channel on some attitude-ish, which I don't appreciate. But overall, like as I've made clear in multiple videos, I will never tell divested women to calm down and what they better say and yeah. Because the bottom line is, I want y'all to understand something. There was a troll in Joe's comment section, and I reminded him to mind his place. And there was a little back and forth, and I told Joe, I said, Joe, I apologize. I know you probably don't get down like that. He just ignores. But divested women are tired of ignoring these motherfuckers. Okay? We're tired of having to be the ones that ignore this ish. As I've told y'all before, it is what it is. I will never switch. I have never switched. And I've been on here since 2013 with people that, people's faves, that people now are like, oh my God, she is the leader of Black women having options and going their own way. Well, that leader was on here making life hard for me. Okay? So I'm so glad that, these women have changed their mind and yeah. But the bottom line is, I've been divested. I've been in interracial relationships day one. And we don't have to be nice and put up with these freaks trolling us. This is our life, okay? We don't bother them in their spaces. He came over and bothered us. So then they want to say, if you're divested, then divest. Oh, we do. Oh, okay. Knock the stuff down. And we do. And they will follow us, okay? Because they want what Brad's got. Yes, they do. I can't control that. Okay? Handed them over to you on a dusty platter, and they still will bother us, right? So I feel like, divested women, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. And let these trolls know. Y'all not going to keep bothering us. What they have gotten is a direct result of their actions and their behavior. And I'm telling you right now, I'm tired of it. I got my channel mods, but anybody here that's divested or blah, blah, whatever, when you see these trolls, shut them down. Shut them down. However you have to. Okay? Because they're trying to destroy. They see that Black women have found a good thing, which is there are men out there that love Black women, period. Y'all don't want to love Black women? Kick rocks. And then they'll come over to those spaces and do what they've been doing for generations, for decades now, even longer, which is try to convince those guys, oh, these women ain't nothing. Oh, why you like them? Blah, blah, blah. Handle these trolls. They need to know under no uncertain terms. You want to go mess with somebody? Mess with the Dustiana that wants to deal with you. Period. Okay. So yes, I've seen Joe's girlfriend, and she's beautiful, and she looks, he says, my girlfriend is so laid back and easygoing, and you can just tell she just looks like a sweetheart, absolute beautiful sweetheart, right? So absolutely, they're choosing the women that makes these guys say, oh yeah, we wanted to be with y'all all along. No, shut up. Your rhetoric, you were saying something different. Now, okay, so now better men have scooped it up. You might win some, but you just lost one. It just is the way it is. Move along. Stop saying if y'all divest, divest. Bitch, that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing. They bother us. They follow us into whatever spaces we're in. Go get y'all dusties. You know what I'm saying? I had to get gully with it. This is Cup of Joe. Hopefully Joe didn't hear me getting gully with it, okay? You trying to be professional. But you got to code switch when it come to dust, okay? I speak multiple languages, all right? I speak English and I speak AAVE. And sometimes you just got to go there. You just got to go there. Thank you for being here, Sun Goddess, Ari. All right. So, Joe was in the chat seeing me cuss these fools. Was trying to pretend to be so elegant, okay? But like I said, sometimes you have to go there, okay? Like I said, like I told Joe, I'm not laid back like you and your girlfriend. I'm not afraid to go there, okay? I get it popping. I'm from the North, okay? The North remembers. And unfortunately, like I said, it's not fair. And what I want Joe and his girlfriend and every Black woman in an interracial relationship to understand is, just like Joe is like, I want to spread the message and make people aware that there are interracial couples, there are Black women and white men that are together, there are Black women that date non-Black men. We're out here, and, you know, respect our love and respect our relationships as well. And I want his girlfriend to be able to be on his channel and be comfortable and not be having to worry about these trolls. Who cares? This troll was sitting up there. He was like, bat face. I'm like, that's all you. Come on, bat face. Okay, I'm a bat. Okay, I'm a bat. Okay, what's next? Is that all you've got? So I was like, if you're going to troll me, you picked the wrong one. You know how feminine they are. You know how feminine these dusties are. That's something a woman would say. If you're going to troll me, you picked the right one. And you a bat. I was like, okay, I'm a bat. Oh, okay. What else you got? Stay out of my business. Mind your business. All right? Go build something. Jody, I know you've been subscribed to me, so if you subscribe to Joe, that's great. All of my steelies, definitely go subscribe to Joe. And hopefully, Joe's folks, you guys will subscribe to me as well. Joe says, subscribe to Roadrunner89 as well. Brent has the same views as me. He's in the comments. Roadrunner89, I think he gave us a super chat. Roadrunner, I'm going to definitely subscribe to you as well and check out your channel, and maybe hopefully we can have a conversation as well. Okay, because again, we need to normalize Black women and white men, Black women in our interracial relationships. We're here, okay? We're still here. These dudes act like, oh, their relationships with white women are progressive because the white men didn't want us together. So shut the fuck up, fool. Anyways, we're in the year 2022, and Black women's relationships with non-Black men, this shouldn't be some phenomenon that y'all just, I don't want to see, I don't see. We're not protecting and coddling y'all no more. If your feelings are hurt by it, your feelings are hurt. Tough. Move along. Go mind the business that pays you. Go follow these chicks that want to see you. If you know you're not welcome, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? So again, just like Joe said, he wants to normalize these relationships. I've always wanted to normalize these relationships, but it's hard to normalize things when people have a rhetoric of every white guy would be your savior, and, you know, just get a white guy and your whole life will change. That's not realistic. So we've had a realistic conversation today. We've had a realistic conversation, okay? And that's what I wanted to bring to y'all, that you can still have your options open and date men of all races and ethnicities, understanding that you have to vet every man that you come in contact with. You can do both. You don't have to put a man on a pedestal to consider dating him. Okay? I really want y'all to understand that. So hopefully that's been understood more. Michael Ray says, if a black woman isn't getting attention from black men, just date a white man and you'll get attention. Okay. All eyes on me. He's absolutely right about that. You know, and it can be hard for black women because, again, when people are looking at us, my husband says all the time, he'll be like, people are staring at you because you're beautiful. And I'm like, oh, I'm ready to pop. I'm ready to pop. You know, being ridiculous. Okay. And he's like, no, they're just looking at you because you're beautiful. And, you know, they're not used to seeing couples like us together. You'll have to work on that. Especially if you're like me, dirty pop. Okay. And you're ready to pop. You'll have to deal with the fact that sometimes people are staring at you because they're just not used to seeing the two of you together, you know, in that way. Okay. Awesome. So Roadrunner is Brent. Definitely subscribe to him as well. I'm going to subscribe to him, and hopefully we can bring Brent on the channel. We can have further conversations like this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on. Like we're going to normalize this. This is the year 2022. Stop with the stigmas. Stop with the attaching black women and white men relationships to the past, but you never attach black men and white women's relationships to the past. Stop. I know that when we're together, it's not a bunch of dysfunction and chaos, but get used to it. Okay, period. Mm-hmm. Tanya S says, Danie, you need your own TV show on the network. Thank you. Where own at? Okay. Own Tyler Perry. Somebody. Okay. That's facts. Okay. I need my own show quickly. All right. And, you know, I'll be honest, if they ever scoop me up, the first person that's going to scoop me up is going to be like, wow, I can't believe we didn't scoop you up faster. And they're going to be right. Okay, period. Because I'm here to bring the entertainment. Okay. And I'm here to bring truth. And that's why I have this channel. If I felt like the truth could be told and I didn't need to be a part of this, I wouldn't be. But I really feel like, you know what? The game needs me. Okay, period. We love Wendy, but you need a new Wendy. Okay. I can be your new Wendy. All right. Thank you so much, Tanya S., for that compliment. It's very nice of you. Shout out to Joe again. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it, I guess, for the evening. I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate y'all. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Give me a show. I'm more Mira Issa when I pop on. Right, like, you know, writing raps and stuff. You know, I'm Mira Issa generally. Okay. But when I get mad, because I get tired of it. They have the whole Pygmesia sphere. It's like, guess what? Y'all only here because these guys are mad that black women started dating interracially. If they hadn't caught on that beautiful black women, they're losing beautiful black women, they wouldn't allow y'all to be here. Y'all would pop up talking about some black love. And these dudes would be like, shut up, we don't want you. This is all ploy that they do. Okay? So, you know, again, we're here to normalize interracial dating and relationships between black women and the men that love them. Joe was an awesome guest. Look forward to working together again. Hopefully we can work with Roadrunner, Brent as well, and just have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to get going. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much, everyone who supported the chat. Shout out to my top tier steelies over on Patreon. I heart you guys. You guys are like a little family to me. You really are. And I thank you so much for supporting the channel. So again, shout out to my top tier Steelies over on Patreon. Shout out to everybody that was been here today. Shout out to Joe, Cup of Joe 20. Okay. I like my men like I like my cup of Joe. Lot of cream, lot of sugar. Don't want no hood booger. Okay. That's the only bars I have. I can only generate so many bars at one time. Okay. But shout out to everyone that was here. It's been a lovely night, a lovely time. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay.